to my speed building paradise here in YouTube. For this video, I decided to recreate our entry for the Marsception Architecture Competition of the Volume 0 magazine in 2018. To build it, I searched in YouTube and Google, and I saw this YouTuber that is very awesome. She has created very unique buildings that you can see on Pinterest. And then she made a sphere, and it helped me to build this. Our Marsception entry, here it is. As you can see, it is shaped like a ball, and it has two wheels. Our main concept here is to make it a mobile habitat. By the way, I'm going to explain the Marsception competition first. It is an architecture competition that calls all architects or architecture students or graduates or anyone that has a background in architecture and design to produce and create a Martian habitat. So, my archi friends and I, we are a group of 3. We decided to join the competition and create a unique habitat. It is a mobile habitat like a Martian rover. I will explain to you the main concept of this. We entitled our entry Martian Columbus Voyaging a New World. Because of this, traveling to and from a fixed habitat is one of the major hindrances of a good research quest in the Red Planet. Creating a habitat that can roam around Mars will make researching more convenient and effective. The Martian Columbus has the ability to take the researchers wherever they want on the surface of the Red Planet without leaving their home. We are really drawn to that idea. We are inspired by the efficiency and the accessibility of having a movable home because of Christopher Columbus, who has discovered most of the islands here in our planet by a ship. So, we wanted that similar concept to the discovery of life in the planet Mars. Let me explain the parts of our habitat. The topmost part of this habitat is the self-cleaning translucent glass, and under that, it will have a transparent, luminous, and solar concentrator. It will absorb healthy heat and light so that it can supply the vertical garden in the middle of this habitat. The garden in the middle is a hydroponic garden. It will be very, very convenient for this habitat because from that garden, they will be able to get their food. It will be like their food supply when they are on the Red Planet. And next, there will be water surrounding the whole habitat because it is like an insulation because the weather in Mars is really cold. It appears like it's hot because of its reddish color, but it is actually cold and freezing. There will also be a limited amount of water in there because water is being frozen easily in the Red Planet. If I remember correctly, there will be a surrounding water that will be perceived as an insulation and to supply hydroponic garden. And after that layer, there will also be a radiation-proof wall, which is very important in designing a habitat in the planet Mars, because radiation is very common and very strong in the Red Planet. It can kill humans easily because they are not for that kind of very harsh radiation. Because here in our planet Earth, we have these multiple layers of protection in our atmosphere. That is why we are protected from too much radiation. And because it is a mobile habitat, of course, it will have wheels, as you have seen in the picture of the rendering of this Martian habitat. That wheel, when it is moving, it will generate energy. That's why we called it an energy generating wheel. It will be able to generate energy to supply ample and sufficient energy for the habitat to function properly. Every part of this habitat is really functional and has a purpose, which is really cool. We really worked hard on this. We thought about every detail very thoroughly, and we researched a lot about this. But some of the information I already forgot, but mostly I still remember. And we enjoyed the process of designing it so much. It is really fun because we are really into this kind of things, this space things. We really like this build, the design we come up. Moving on, for the floor plan of our design entry, let me talk about it. For the second floor of this habitat, it houses the sleeping quarters for 5 humans. And by the way, this habitat competition as a requirement will be able to accommodate 5 humans. So we have here 5 units of sleeping quarters. Each will have a sleeping capsule or a bed, and they will have their own locker or closet inside their quarters. Next, it has the main control area or control center of the whole habitat. It will be like the driver's area for airplanes or ships because this habitat is mobile. And it will also have a hygiene area, which is also very important in a red planet habitat. For the first floor, the lower floor of this one, it houses the dining, the cooking, the recreation, the interaction, the research, and the storage area of the habitat. This floor has an open planning and will be very, very passive. It will allow interactions of humans as they are only a few here. They will not be homesick, and they will have the comfort of a true home in the planet Earth here in Mars. Then it has the base of the vertical garden in the middle. It is like the main accent of this creation because it really looks good, especially at night when it is lit. That's it, and back to the game. So for the lot, I chose here in The Sims 4. At first, I chose this small lot in Oasis Spring, but later on, I decided to go forward for a bigger lot because as you can see, this sphere is really big that it doesn't fit here anymore. For the bigger lot, I wanted to find something that has this vibe of a secluded area. So I found something. You will see it. It is the lot of the recreation park in the Oasis Spring. Then I bulldozed it and I transferred this build there. The view in that lot is very beautiful. There are no houses that are visible from that lot. So it really looks like an abandoned place or a secret place. That's why it looks so much like the surroundings of the red planet. And because of the landscaping and the color of this world, the Oasis Springs, it really looks good. It really has the vibe of the Martian planet. And by the way, the landing site for this one is, as it will be like a Martian rover, it will have the landing process of a Martian rover. The landing site is the North Valleys. That site has the most probability to have a supply of water in all of the red planet. So it is one of the most advisable landing sites in the red planet. They actually call it an ancient landing site because of its reputation. So let me discuss the habitat landing process here. First, the shell passes through the atmosphere and then the parachute deploys, and the heat shield releases. Then, the habitat separates from the shell. It will be like an egg cracked open, and it will show the habitat, and then the habitat descends from the sky crane, which is like the parachute. And lastly, it will land on Mars, on the landing site, which is the Morth Vallis. That's a really cool name. And so back to the game again. For the floor plan of this build, here in The Sims 4, it is not similar to our entry's floor plan. I changed it because I wanted it to be more suited for the Sims gameplay, and we have in the floor plan the normal areas that we use here, like the living, dining, kitchen, and the bedrooms, and I also included some activities or skills area. And I think it will be really fun to play with. And moving on, I'm just gonna discuss some of the technical aspects of this Martian habitat that we have designed. Okay, this Martian Columbus, the wheels of the habitat generate electrical energy, as I've said, from the electrostatic charge dust particles it acquires while roaming around the Martian deserts. The outer part, which is a sphere, is covered with transparent solar cells called transparent luminescent solar concentrator, or TLSC, under a dust-proof coating to shield the habitat from the harsh radiation in the red planets. The inner part, which consists of the living spaces, is enveloped with LED panels, like the metal, with an attached insulating material that traps heat for thermal regulation, which is a very important factor in designing habitats in the planet Mars. So, the gap between the outer and inner part of the habitat is filled with water to protect the interiors from radiation. We have here some key factors of the design. First, the overall shape of this habitat is a dust-proof shape. As we all know, there are a lot of sunstorms going on in the red planet because of its sandy environment. So, it is very important to make a fluid design that attracts less dust and removes them. And because the dust from Mars is very dangerous, because they have this electrostatic charge that can damage the health of the humans that will go to the red planet. It is really important. And there is a double radiation proof also, and as I mentioned, because of the water and the other insulations in this home. And of course, there is a smart use of space within this limited space, because we wanted it to be as mobile and as small as possible to be able to roam around easily and to be able to minimize the construction cost of this one. Even though it is not big like the Martian habitats we normally see, it is very functional and very efficient. And another is the energy generating wheels, which is a very smart move here, because the energy that it has consumed while the habitat is moving is regenerated, as I've said. And it can supply more energy that can be used for the daily living of the humans that will live in this habitat. And moving on, for the interiors of this house, I decided to go for an all-white futuristic theme because of the theme of this whole build, which is very spacey and futuristic. It's so like a science layer. Okay, and of course, as this is a habitat in the red planet, I wanted it to look really techy and really into the future. I think I achieved that by using this technique wherein all the furniture pieces are white or mostly white. So that's it. I believe it turned out really well. And I really wanted to not use custom content here, but I failed to do so because of the doors here. You have to have these very wide doors to eliminate the walls of a roof. But I don't have any in the base game, and I don't have any expansion packs. But if you have any expansion packs, you can use that, the one in the island living, I think, the sliding doors there will be very sufficient because they have these 3 or 4 green squares or grids. But for this one, for this build, because I only have the base game, I just used a custom content arch, which has 3 or 4 grids that is needed to hide all the walls of a roof, for it to appear like a really rounded and spherical build. Because as you have seen in the first part of this video, when I was just starting the build, there are walls of the roof that are very eyesore. And I have to eliminate those to make an almost perfect looking sphere shape. You know what I mean? To do that, you have to use or pick a door or arch that is very wide and just fill out all the walls of the roof and size them down to make them subtle and move them up to make them disappear. I also learned that from that YouTuber I have said a while ago. And you will see here, as I'm decorating the interiors, there are these folding doors here all around the upper part or above this floor. But I'm going to cover them later with plants. And I made the topmost floor, the 3rd floor of this building, a garden, like a sanctuary or an inspiration area. And in the middle vessel, I put their trash cans for the Sims 4 gameplay to prevent them from being an eyesore. But I also put a little trash bin in the kitchen area. And for the 1st floor is the main living space. It has 2 living areas. The one is an entertainment area, and the one is a conversation and relaxation area. It also has a kitchen and a dining area. All of those are open planning. And in the middle, where the vertical garden is, there is a powder room or a bathroom. And for the 2nd floor, there is a master's bedroom and 2 bedrooms that can fit a single bed for each room. And I also added a gym area because I think for this science layer, it is more fitted to have a fitness activities skill building room or area other than other skills. And in the middle, there is a bathroom for the 2 bedrooms, and of course, the master bedroom has its own ensuite bathroom, which is very beautiful and very spacious. Moving on, for the landscaping of this, I just drawn inspiration from the red planet itself. This is just a minimal landscaping, no plants, just sand dunes and rocks. I did a tutorial on how to place objects and landscaping materials on terrains. Okay, you will learn how to place them easily on terrains. Check out my previous build, the hidden villa, if you'd like to learn how to. I think this build is really fun to play with. It is a very unique build, and I'm very proud of our entry for the Marsception competition. Even though we didn't win, I'm very proud of it. We have a lot of international competitors here from all around the world, and we got an appreciation certificate from the Volume 0 magazine. And I'm really proud of this design because I think it is very meaningful and it is a very smart design. And aesthetically speaking, I think it looks really great. Thumbs up if you agree. And now that I have created it here in The Sims 4, I appreciated it even more. It really looks good here. How I miss the times like this when I am so determined and passionate about what I am doing, and I will end up creating something that is really creative and awesome. It's really a happiness, you know? So, by the way, this build is now up in the gallery. Don't forget to check the include custom content button for you to be able to see it in my account. My origin ID is in the description box of this video. I hope you have fun playing this build. Okay, I think that's it. We are done here. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can watch out for my other videos. Lots of exciting and unique builds coming up to you. Enjoy the cinematics for now. See you again. Bye-bye!